Hello, I'm going to explain here or make a small demo of a new web service that we implemented this week. Thanks to Mikkel, he did most of the heavy lifting on that development. Basically, the call is to get the coreBOS workflow, excuse me, to get the coreBOS login page. Okay, if we come over here to the documentation, uh, we see that coreBOS has a very flexible way. Let's do the login. Probably we'll get login. Design your login page. coreBOS has a very nice feature here where you can define very flexibly and very completely the look and feel of the login page that you want for your application. Okay, it's all explained here and it's very powerful. And if you come over here to this file, let me open the open file and where's this here? I'm looking for the coreBOS in my web server coreBOS work, which is this development install I have here in the modules settings directory. We have a file which is called config on demand. This file looks like this, and here it has a login page, which is in this case LDS no image, and it shows you this login page. Okay, if I come over here and I put LDS only, for example, save this and reload the coreBOS page, you will see that now I have a different login page where we have basically the same input, but we have an image on the right. And we have some other ones, not split left, I think, which is one of them. Let me see if I got that right. Yeah, okay, this is a little different. And you can define, okay, so it's a very flexible way, and it's all defined here. It's very easy to configure all sorts of login pages with different functionality and the like. So we needed a way to send that login page to whoever needed it. Okay, just in case you're trying to set up a web a satellite application and you wanted to get all that functionality that coreBOS already has into your login page without having to paint it all up again. So we created a nice web service which basically plugs into the functionality and gives you the HTML code. Okay, here I'm on the coreBOS web service development tool. I'm connected to the same install that I'm here. Well, I was connected. Yeah, okay. And I'm going to throw in here a small script that does exactly that call. Okay, let's have a look at what this does. Okay, let's break it up a little bit, make it easier to see. And this one will be like this. And I'll need a dot here. That's the operation. And let's break up these two so we can talk about them all as needed. Okay, get rid of that one, and we get rid of this one, and we get rid of this one. Okay, and this one too. Okay. Okay, so these are the parameters that the getLogin web service call needs. It's the operation, actually, the get login page. Then we can ask for different templates. Basically, what I just did with the config on demand variable, we'll be able to send it in, and it will give us the different options. We can ask for it in different languages. coreBOS will take care of the translation for us, and we can also ask for a CSRFAR token or not, and that will be included in the login page. Then it's oops, wrong. Okay. Okay, that's okay. Okay, then we do a fetch URL, which is a get call, and output in this case, we just output the code. Okay, so as you can see here, it falls into this screen here. It's a little, obviously this wasn't, coreBOS web service development tool wasn't designed for this kind of output because it's all HTML and CSS dependent and the like. So it's kind of, but still, as you can see, it actually did send me the HTML. That looks like the LDS the split left, probably, yeah, yeah, the split left screen. I can ask for the LDS one, and we'll get another different output. Again, it's missing CSS and the like. But as you can see, and it says here, we don't have the users and the like here. LDS no image. Okay, anyway. Okay, so you can see you can change the parameters here. We'll look at with another with a better interface. Okay, so that's the call. That's the call, and it gives you all the HTML. Let's see it in another environment. Okay, just to see how that works from another point of view, where we can actually load all the code and all the CSS, so it looks a little better. Okay. Here on this local port 8001, I have a Go script listening. Okay, as you can see here, I have a handler for the call with no parameters, which just outputs hello world. We have here, I have here also the coreBOS web service library in Go. Okay, we have a library for this, so you can access coreBOS from Go with all the typical methods: retrieve, creates, updates, and the like. This should be uploaded very soon on the coreBOS web service library GitHub repository. And at the moment, I have here a do login function method where it actually sends in the template, the language, and all the code, and gives me back that that HTML. Okay, so let's swap this in here. Okay, if you see here, actually, if I reload this, it actually gives me that hello world. And let's swap in the code and talk about it, see what it does. Okay, this is the code that will actually do the login page. Okay, here I'm listening for the theme parameter. If you give it to me, I will load that theme in. So actually, you'll see now that I can dynamically load the different themes. By default, if we don't have one, I'm going to load the LDS no image. Also, I'm going to, that's this piece of code here. Okay, here I'm processing the theme parameter. If you give it to me, here in this piece of code here, I'm actually processing the language parameter. So if you give me a language, I'll use that language, and if not, I'm going to use the EN language. Here I do the coreBOS login, connect to the application. Here I have these hard coded, the admin and the like. Okay, you could do it differently. Obviously, you'd have to ask or do something there to get an access to the application as some user. Here I'm calling the coreBOS do login page with the login theme that I got from here and the login language that I got here, and I'm just hard coding the CSFR token. Then this login page actually comes with HTML prepared for coreBOS, obviously. So it's going to look for the login, the logo in the test logo directory, which is inherited from way long ago. And what I'm doing here is that in my Go application, I don't have the test logo. I have it in themes logo. So I actually replace that string so that the offset is correct. I log out of the coreBOS connection, and I just print out all the code that comes from the login page web service call. Okay, so let's save that and have a look at what happens. Let's reload here. And as you can see, I actually have a pretty good formatted, a really nice formatted coreBOS login page. That's actually, this HTML is actually coming from my coreBOS, which is configured on the system. Here, as you can see, I already have some tests done. I can ask for the split left theme, and Go will connect to coreBOS, ask for the login page, and bring me over all the HTML code. I could ask for this, as you see here, it's a username and password, which is, I don't know why the registro is in Spanish. And we can put the language here and use ESES. And I get user password, which where I get that translated. Okay, so as you can see, really easy to get and set up a login page without having to create something on your own, because coreBOS already does this, already has a defined way of doing it. It's really easy. And so we can create as many login pages as we need in our coreBOS using that philosophy, and then just send over the HTML to the application, satellite application that we need to use. Well, happy developing.